And welcome back to the channel, Survivors. Today we're going to be diving back into Ark Survival Ascended, and specifically, I want to talk about 3, maybe 5 really awesome features from the brand new creature, the Gigantoraptor, that you probably didn't know, but you absolutely should. And as always, if you guys enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe here on the channel directly below this video for everything Ark Survival Ascended related. And if you guys want to check out the action live, be sure to follow me over on Twitch, because I do go live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So now diving into the first one, and honestly one of the most easiest things to really understand when it comes to the Gigantoraptor is that it simply just helps you get more Gigantoraptors. You guys know that the typical method as of right now, the time of recording this video, is to unfortunately place down a fertilized egg, preferably a Giga egg, relatively close to the nest, and then allow the parent to seek out that egg while you jump into the nest and play the little mini game. Well, you can actually skip all of this entirely after you have your very first Gigantoraptor. You see, if you're already on the back of a Gigantoraptor and you stumble across a nest, a parent and a baby, you can actually go ahead and simply kill off the parent. From here, you can actually just initially tame the Gigantoraptor baby. You don't have to play the little mini game. You don't have to do anything else. You literally can just claim the baby, throw it into the saddle of your own Gigantoraptor, and then, be on your merry way. And this is the easiest way to possibly get more Gigantoraptors, again, after you have your initial one. No longer do you have to play the fertilized egg game, try to figure out a different trap method, you name it. This is simply the easiest way to get them after you have one. And I know some of you guys might already know this information, but it's still a really strong feature here for the Gigantoraptor that after you get one, you can just simply get as many as you possibly want. Now, diving into the second awesome feature for the Gigantoraptor, and that brings us to its ability to actually incubate eggs via its saddle. If you guys don't know, you can see the 2 pockets on the left-hand side of the saddle for the Gigantoraptor. You can actually place baby dinos in there as long as they're a lower level than the level of the Gigantoraptor, but additionally, you can also place eggs in its saddle. Doing this via the inventory, as you can see here, clicking on the egg, clicking down at the bottom in the center, it will actually incubate these eggs in the Gigantoraptor's inventory. Now, if the dino hatches from this egg and is a higher level than the Gigantoraptor, well, then it'll simply just spit that baby down on the ground after it is fully incubated. Now, once again, you will have to claim it and then continue the maturation process, of course, to raise it. But if it is a lower level than the Gigantoraptor, it'll simply just sit in the side of the saddle and allow you to actually raise it on the go. And you can directly feed it from here on the Gigantoraptor as well. So again, really, really cool feature here. Alrighty, now diving into another awesome feature here for the Gigantoraptor, and that relates to claiming wild babies. You guys know that the Gigantoraptor is a nurturing dino, right? So you can ride around and claim wild babies, and in doing so, not only do you obviously get to tame these wild babies, but you actually get additional bonus levels compared to just claiming them yourself. Not only do you get the additional levels, but you can also influence how many levels they get or more levels they get into a specific stat based on your Gigantoraptor. So for example, if your Gigantoraptor has a high HP stat, for instance, and you go ahead and claim a baby trike, well, the extra, stats and HP will then be given to that baby via the bonus levels on that trike. And the same thing goes for melee stat. Maybe you have a Gigantoraptor that has a really high melee. You can then go ahead and claim, let's say, a T-Rex, for instance, and it will gift those extra bonus points of melee into those bonus levels for that T-Rex that you are currently claiming. Again, just a really awesome hidden feature here that the Gigantoraptor does provide when it comes to claiming babies, and it's a really cool feature for breeders and people that are looking to build up, sets of dinos or dino lines for things like boss fights. And now diving into another awesome feature for the Gigantoraptor, that brings us to once we have one fully grown at our base, you can see we've got this one here, for example, it is a full mature adult. From here, if you actually access the cogwheel holding down E on the keyboard, if you're on PC, you'll actually get a new ability to actually pluck a feather. You might be wondering what exactly plucking a feather does. Well, if you go ahead and pluck one, you can now take a look in your inventory and see exactly what it is. The plucked feather actually is tied to a specific stat, and you can see indicated by the icon in the bottom left-hand side and also its description. And now with these feathers, we can actually take them and put them in the female's inventory of the Gigantoraptor breeding pair prior to mating them. What this is going to do is essentially give you guys a 75% chance for that egg during that mating session, the next mating session after you put the egg in the inventory, to inherit that that specific stat. If you guys don't use a feather, it's actually a 55% chance, but if you happen to use a feather for that desired stat trait that it will inherit from the parent, it actually bumps it up to 75%, which again is really, really nice and really awesome, especially for people that are looking to, increase their breeding lines for specific stats, for specific use cases like bosses. Again, this just goes down as one of the most awesome features that we have here for the Gigantoraptor, and it just allows a lot of people, especially breeders, the flexibility to hone in on whatever stats that they desire. Now, keep in mind there is some additional testing that needs to be done to really iron out the best way to handle these plucked feathers, or, stacking them or utilizing them, I guess, to its maximum potential. But overall, it's still a really awesome feature that you guys could experiment with to potentially get your desired stats. And now moving on to the next awesome feature we have for the Gigantoraptor, and that brings us to locating prime meat really, really fast. Now, obviously, I know this might not be for those baby lovers out there, but you can actually utilize one of the Gigantoraptor's abilities to simply locate babies in a surrounding area. You can literally see them here in the distance. You can run up to them, and those are all actual live active babies. Now, you can simply obviously tame them and collect them and, do all of that jazz. But what is a really nifty, handy thing to use this for is actually locating babies, because if you don't know, if you kill babies, you get a ton of prime meat compared to almost anything else across the board for Ark. And utilizing this to your advantage, especially when it comes to taming some larger carnivores that do require this prime meat to get a perfect tame, this is a really good source way to do it. Literally just knock out whatever tame you're looking to get and then hop on the back of your Gigantoraptor, use its ability, it will highlight all the babies in the area. Hopefully there are some close by, potentially there's going to be tons of them close by. Go ahead and kill one or two of them, put that on your tame, and then just simply rinse and repeat the process whenever you need prime meat. And as far as my overall thoughts on the Gigantoraptor, man, I am loving this creature. Probably, honestly, it's turning into one of my favorite creatures that have ever been added into Ark Survival Ascended so far. Obviously, there's more creatures to come out down the line, but as of right now, I'm really enjoying this one. I think it's just really good across the board. I am curious to see how well it performs in the end game, and especially for, like end game, alpha boss fights. I'm not exactly sure where its place is going to be there, but as far as like controlling stats for breeding lines, this is a huge win here for breeders. And the same thing goes for like an early game mount as well. You could probably weasel your way into getting one relatively early on, and it'll make a world of difference in your overall progression. And with that being said, guys, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything Ark Survival Ascended related. If you guys enjoyed this video and you have additional questions about the changes or how exactly to tame a Gigantoraptor, you can check out the video you see here on screen, as it will cover everything you need to know. With that being said, guys, don't forget I do have a Discord. You can always find that link down below in the description, and access to my private community servers for Ark Survival Ascended. As always, guys, I'll see ya on the next one.